Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file. They want to change the color of this blue. I've already done it. I've made one mistake. I made too much of it, that tan yellow. So for the front one I'm helping or anybody, this is not a vector file. You can see how fuzzy it is. And I was really concerned about it because it's, anyway, for the one I'm doing it for, I've reduced it in size to help Corel basically, and you can see it's got a bounding box around it. You can make it back to the original size later. And the reason I made it small is because I'm going to trace it with a bitmap trace, outline trace clip art. It traces it a lot better than I thought. Matter of fact, it traces it perfectly, which is really kind of surprisingly. Corel normally doesn't trace text very well, but it did in this case, so you always want to try it. And there it is, and we're going to say okay, and we're going to nudge that one out of the way. Now we want to keep the original. A couple of ways you can do this. So now this is a vector file, and if we look at the difference, how jagged it is versus how sharp it is now. So take this one and group it and ungroup it. And if you look here, you can't ungroup it because it's not a file. Now what I would suggest is to come in here sideways and get the font. And let's move them out of the way. Now the bad thing is it's taking some of the color, but that's not a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this and we're going to left click, right click. And I'm actually going to turn it into a hairline. Now we need to get rid of everything. So what I need to do is bring in an indexing line where that line is. As a matter of fact, I'm going to nudge it over out of the way for a second so I have a reference. I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key and I'm going to delete everything. And there, okay, I caught that corner. So let's do just some of it at a time. So I will not catch that round corner. And you see, well, there's the part of that line left. Okay, we got it. Now, what we're going to have to do is, what happened to my indexing line? Well, you know what? Because we've nudged, we can do this. We can take a 2-point line and hold down the control button to make it perfect. And then put it on our O one. Now, because we've nudged, we can nudge it over. Now we need to get rid of that other part of the line. And, probably the best thing to do would be to just draw a line that length. A lot of times you might get a leak if we do that, but start drawing, hold down the control button, and then nudge it over. And we can test for leaks right now. So we want that to be the same color, I'm guessing. So I'm going to use the spark fill tool, and I'm going to get the eyedropper, and I'm going to take a sample and see it leaks. That was what I was afraid of. So what we need to do is make well, there's the line a little bit short. And because it's a black line on black object, it doesn't really matter. Then take the smart fill tool, fill that in. Ooh, still got a, you know what? Because maybe this isn't a box anymore. That didn't happen the first time. Let me grab this box and let me go down. See, there's a break in the box. So we should, that's not really white, because if we take let's make it yellow, object, order, back of page, see it's not there. The white's not actually there. So I could have accidentally touched that. So let's just delete that. And very easily we can fix this box. Two ways: we can just take the shape tool, grab on that, and that's good because it got rid of some trash, and just go right to that edge. Now, before I move it, I'm going to test it. Get the Smart Fill tool, and we have no leaks, so we're good. So what we're going to do now is back up. We have that point. Get rid of our, and move that up. Now we can take the Smart Fill tool, still sit on the same color, and then they could just pick the color they want. If, CMYK or whatever color you want to print it at. So there you have it. Now, you could actually probably take that line away, and I'm thinking to do that would pick this color, nudge it out of the way, nudge that out of the way, and take our line away. That way there won't be any mishaps with printing. I know nothing about printing. So now you just have a box. Now, to get this text back right, because there's the old colors inside of it, and see there's part of the tan. I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm going to make it a hairline. Now, we're just going to turn everything black, and there's actually a problem right there. Very easily done though. Take your shape tool, grab that node and just hit delete. That deleted that line. Now, it would be nice if you could just grab this and go black. You see what it did to the 8? So you can't really do that. So grab your Smart Fill tool, and you want to make sure you're going to use CMYK or RGB. I'm using RGB, and you're just going to have to go through and individually fill in these spots. It won't take just a second, and I try to do it systematically so I won't leave anything out. And while we're here, we can go ahead and go here and see what it's going to do to the 8. Now it looks like an 8. And you might want to draw a rectangle around this if you're not confident that, as long as you get that cross in there, it's going to do that. It's going to fill in and not leak. Now we are going to take away the outline when we're done. So, well, there's another little mistake right there. Right there. So just take your virtual segment elite key, and because it's a hairline, it might not show up, but that was part of the line, I'm guessing, from the other drawing. Now, select it all and left click no outline. Made it a little bit smaller. I'd go ahead and Control G to group it. And because we've nudged, we can nudge it right back. I didn't get it all. Not too much trouble. I mean, it really traced well. And like if you were going to change that color, you could change that to that color too if you wanted to. Because it's an item now, it's an object. Let's see if this red is, yep, this red is just a border. And then group it all together and print it out. I like it, they did a good job, but so Control G to group it. And I'd send you this file, but, well, if you have trouble tracing it, email me back and I'll send you the file and you can take it apart and change that color. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.